For true macaroni lovers, there's nothing quite as comforting as a bowl of creamy, cheesy macaroni, freshly cooked and steaming, with that irresistible aroma of melted cheese filling the air. The humble combination of pasta and cheese has captured hearts and taste buds across the world, taking center stage at family dinners, potlucks, and midnight snacks alike. Whether you're a seasoned chef or a kitchen novice, making delicious macaroni and cheese at home can be incredibly simple and incredibly satisfying. Let's begin by appreciating what makes macaroni and cheese so universally adored. It's the marriage of tender pasta and gooey, rich cheese sauce that creates a dish both nostalgic and endlessly customizable. While many people grew up with the boxed version, there's something magical about preparing your own macaroni and cheese from scratch. Not only do you control the flavors and textures, but you also get to enjoy that fresh, homemade taste that's impossible to replicate with a pre-packaged mix. The foundation of any great macaroni and cheese starts with two essential components: the pasta and the cheese sauce. For the pasta, classic elbow macaroni is the traditional choice. Its curved shape and hollow center are perfect for catching and holding onto the cheese sauce, ensuring every bite is packed with flavor. However, you can experiment with other pasta shapes as well. Shells, cavatappi, or even penne can work beautifully, each offering a unique texture and mouthfeel. Next comes the cheese sauce, the true star of the show. At its core, a luscious cheese sauce is made by combining butter, flour, milk, and cheese. The process begins with a simple roux, a cooked mixture of butter and flour, which acts as a thickening agent for the sauce. Once the roux is bubbly and fragrant, milk is gradually whisked in, transforming the mixture into a silky bechamel. As the sauce thickens, generous handfuls of your favorite cheese are melted in, creating that signature creamy consistency. For a classic, crowd-pleasing macaroni and cheese, cheddar is the cheese of choice. Sharp cheddar delivers bold flavor and that beautiful orange hue, while a milder cheddar lends creaminess. But don't feel limited to just cheddar. Mixing in cheeses like mozzarella, Monterey Jack, or Gruyere can add new layers of flavor and meltiness. For an extra punch, a sprinkle of Parmesan on top before baking will give your macaroni a golden, savory crust. Now, let's walk through a super easy cheese recipe that any macaroni lover can master. To start, bring a large pot of salted water to a rolling boil. Add your macaroni and cook until just tender. Al dente is key, as the pasta will continue to cook once you add the hot cheese sauce. Drain the pasta and set it aside, reserving a bit of the cooking water in case you need to loosen the sauce later. In a separate saucepan, melt a generous knob of butter over medium heat. Once the butter has melted and begun to foam, sprinkle in an equal amount of all-purpose flour. Whisk continuously for a minute or two, allowing the flour to cook but not brown. This roux forms the backbone of your cheese sauce, ensuring it's thick and velvety rather than runny or lumpy. Gradually pour in whole milk, whisking constantly to avoid any clumps. As the milk heats and the sauce thickens, you'll notice it becoming smooth and glossy. At this point, reduce the heat to low and begin adding your cheese in small handfuls, stirring until each addition is fully melted. Taste as you go, adjusting the amount of cheese to your preference. A pinch of salt, a crack of black pepper, and a dash of ground mustard or paprika can enhance the flavor, adding subtle depth and warmth. Once your cheese sauce is ready, fold in the cooked macaroni, stirring gently to coat every piece. If the sauce seems a bit thick, add a splash of reserved pasta water to reach the perfect consistency. Creamy but not soupy, clinging to each noodle. For those who love a crispy topping, transfer the macaroni and cheese to a baking dish, sprinkle the surface with a mix of breadcrumbs and Parmesan, and broil for a few minutes until golden and bubbling. The contrast between the creamy sauce and crunchy topping is simply irresistible. But macaroni and cheese isn't just about the basics. The beauty of this dish lies in its versatility. Add-ins and variations are limited only by your imagination. Stir in sautéed onions, roasted garlic, or steamed broccoli for a boost of flavor and nutrition. Fold in crumbled bacon, diced ham, or shredded rotisserie chicken for a heartier meal. Spice lovers might enjoy a dash of hot sauce, a sprinkle of cayenne, or even chopped pickled jalapenos for a zesty kick. For a gourmet touch, experiment with different cheeses. Gruyere brings a nutty, sophisticated note, while smoked Gouda lends depth and a hint of smokiness. Blue cheese, used sparingly, can provide a bold twist, especially when paired with walnuts or caramelized onions. Even a bit of cream cheese or mascarpone can make the sauce extra silky and rich. Serving macaroni and cheese is as easy as scooping it into bowls and watching smiles bloom around the table. It's the kind of dish that brings people together, evoking memories of childhood and the simple pleasures of home. Whether you're making it as a side dish for a holiday feast or enjoying it as the main event on a cozy night in, macaroni and cheese always delivers comfort and joy. Macaroni and cheese also lends itself beautifully to meal prep and leftovers. Store any extras in an airtight container in the refrigerator, and when hunger strikes, simply reheat with a splash of milk to revive its creaminess. You can even freeze portions for a quick, satisfying meal down the road. For those seeking a lighter version, there are countless ways to tweak the recipe without sacrificing flavor. Swap out some or all of the dairy milk for unsweetened almond or oat milk, use whole wheat or chickpea pasta for added fiber and protein, or incorporate pureed butternut squash or cauliflower into the sauce for a nutritional boost. Even with these adjustments, your macaroni and cheese will remain creamy, cheesy, and utterly delicious. Let's not forget about the fun of presentation. Serve your macaroni and cheese in individual ramekins for a special touch, or bake it in a cast-iron skillet for a rustic, homey vibe. Garnish with fresh herbs like chives, parsley, or thyme to add color and a hint of freshness. Macaroni and cheese has stood the test of time for good reason. It's budget-friendly, endlessly adaptable, and loved by kids and adults alike. It can be dressed up for a dinner party or enjoyed in its simplest form for a solo meal. The key is using good quality cheese, cooking your pasta just right, and taking a few extra minutes to make your cheese sauce from scratch. You'll be rewarded with a dish that's far superior to anything from a box. For those who are new to homemade macaroni and cheese, don't be intimidated. With just a handful of ingredients and a bit of patience, you can create a meal that's both impressive and deeply satisfying. The process is straightforward, and once you've mastered the basics, you'll find yourself reaching for this recipe again and again. Remember, the best macaroni and cheese is the one you make your own. Maybe you like it extra cheesy, or perhaps with a hint of spice. Maybe you enjoy a crispy breadcrumb topping, or you prefer it straight from the saucepan, creamy and unadorned. However you choose to enjoy it, macaroni and cheese is a celebration of comfort food at its finest. So, the next time you're craving something warm, cheesy, and utterly comforting, reach for this super easy cheese recipe. Gather your ingredients, turn up your favorite tunes, and let the simple joy of homemade macaroni and cheese fill your kitchen and your heart. For macaroni lovers everywhere, it's a dish worth celebrating, one bowl at a time.